Israel wants someone to go into Iran and take away their nuclear weapons. Someone, I wonder who that could be. Check the date. No, this is not March, we're May 11th. And as Trump tries to find a way out of Iran, Israel's Prime Minister is really saying the opposite. The Israeli Prime Minister was interviewed by CBS News yesterday and he insisted that the war with Iran was not over. So who's going to go into Iran and take the nuclear dust? Well, Israel's Prime Minister says that Trump wants to go in. Not Trump personally, of course, but America. And how does the Israeli Prime Minister know this? Well, apparently Trump told him this. He also added, the Israeli Prime Minister, that there are still enrichment sites that have yet to be dismantled. There are still proxies that Iran supports. There are still missiles it wants to produce. All of that is still there, and there's work to be done. Feels like you're getting a call from your manager, doesn't it? There's still work to be done. But not a surprise, I said a few times that Trump's deal in its current form would not make Israel happy. Because from Israel's perspective, what was the point of going in if nothing was actually going to be achieved? America's Trump supporters might be able to convince themselves that it was a victory on a diet of truth social messages and delusion. But in Israel, the mood seems more cynical, and that's what we're getting from the Israeli media. All of this is going on against a backdrop of Iran sending its response to America on the so-called peace deal. But for Israel, well, Iran's leadership is still there. They could possibly still have nukes. And Iran is still angrier. It will be angrier after this war. And Israel is much closer in distance and proximity to Iran. So they are questioning what has been achieved so far. Regarding this so-called New Deal, not sure if it's just a deal for the markets in America or an actual deal, but we understand that Iran is happy to wind down the war, but that its nuclear program would need further discussion. So pushing the ball further down the road. Iran also wants to keep control of the Strait, possibly with toll booths, and it wants US sanctions against it dropped. Unacceptable, said Trump on social media today. Of course, it really does highlight the fact that Trump would have gone in and achieved very little. Even before Trump announced dissatisfaction with the deal, we knew from his social media postings that he wasn't very happy. The president was on a rampage against his predecessors, Biden, Obama. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say who had the best deal or the worst deal with how to deal with Iran, but we could see that Trump's strategy on Iran was shifting. He wasn't getting what he wanted, so he's needed to move the blame. Okay, so as all this was going on, Kuwait's army said it intercepted a hostile drone, several actually, launched from Iraq. Once again, what year is this? Hostile activity from Iraq into Kuwait? Timestamp, it's 1990. Qatar also said that a cargo vessel coming from Abu Dhabi was attacked in its waters. The UAE also picked up activity of drones entering its airspace. So what does this tell us? That the political landscape is still pretty rough. Trump is due to go into China this week and meet its leader, Xi Jinping. Trump was hoping that this drama would be behind him. Maybe not. Iran may have been responding to more intense strikes from Israel onto Lebanon regarding those hostile activities on the Gulf. Now, we know that, of course, with Kuwait, the drones didn't come from Iran, they came from Iraq, but most likely, and we are speculating here, probably came from groups that are sympathetic towards Iran, pro-Iran militants. Wouldn't be the first time. And for Iran, they are very unhappy with these strikes going on at South Lebanon from Israel. South Lebanon came under intense airstrikes yesterday. It has come under multiple airstrikes since the so-called ceasefire. With significant damage, Iran is likely to be saying that any peace deal needs to involve Lebanon being left alone by Israel, which is going to be quite unlikely. And Trump is still under pressure from politicians at home too. It's not just that he's going into China and he's going to have to say to China, look, the war is still going on, please help. And China's going to be saying, Trump, stop the war. There's pressure at home too. In America, a US senator said it was shocking how much of America's crucial weapons stockpile had been used in Iran. Mark Kelly, a senior Democratic senator, was able to discuss some parts of a classified Pentagon briefing on the figures. He said it would take years to replenish the advanced missiles that were meant for bigger wars, not Iran. Iran was never meant to be a big war. It was never seen as a huge threat to America. Trump fans will likely argue that Kelly is, after all, a Democrat, and so a rival of the Trump administration. His portrayal will therefore maybe be biased. But it is giving Trump's critics an easy time, $25 billion at least for a war that has kept Iran's leadership in power. Hard to sell that as a victory. Expect more on this as it develops.